All right, today we've got Ricky Hernandez in studio with us.
How y'all
Ricky
doing?
Hernandez.
No relation to Aaron.
No, he's Puerto Rican, bro.
Well, you're half Mexican. So.
Like, it's
I know it's not this.
it's like this. My mom is half, and my dad is full. And Jesus Christ, they are fucking pale.
What is your mom the other? So she's half Mexican and half what?
So my grandpa is Basque and Mexican, or Mexican.
Basque.
So the Basque country is this unrecognized nation in Spain and France.
Oh, okay. So isn't it almost like the gypsy people?
No, they're not quite gypsies. They think that's where Scottish and the Gaelic cultures come from because they have genetic similarities, and the Basque language and whatnot is a lot older than those. But I mean, my grandpa.
It's just like an ethnic minority in Europe.
Kind of, yeah.
They have like Ohunk or something.
They have a distinct language that has no fucking link to any other language.
Oh, really?
In Europe? Oh, yeah,
weird.
dude.
Not even any Gaelic.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You listen to it, it sounds
aliens, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. This is the link here. They have what they're called the Basque Highland Games.
Yeah.
And
in
Spain, yeah, in Spain and France.
What part is also northern Spain, almost like Catalonia area?
Catalonia is the one that tried to secede.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
Yeah. The Basque country's actually tried to secede several times.
It's more power to it.
And this is the thing. It's for a long time, in Spain, Francisco Franco banned the Basque language, burned down their college, burned all their books.
What the Basque language even sounds like? What does it even sound like?
It sounds like they're speaking Spanish, but you listen to it, it's not Spanish. It's some of the stuff sounds Russian, some of it sounds Gaelic. It's
that's pretty fucking awesome.
It's pretty cool.
So when I hear people speak Polish sounds like they're speaking Russian, but they're not. And they'll be mad at you if you say Russian.
Oh God, yeah. It's just like Italians if you call them Hispanic.
Yeah, they say they're speaking Spanish or something.
They go, what are you talking about? I'm Italian. I can make that joke.
Dude, I'll tell you this much. I got some friends. They're their family's from northern Italy. They do not like Southern Italians or Sicilians.
No, yeah.
I don't understand that.
Or they don't like Austrians either, right?
I got no clue about that.
Yeah.
I do Italians.
Those are all different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The country lines don't take actual races into consideration.
That's true.
No, yeah.
Because I'm Sicilian and I'm kind of a darker Italian. I'm Polish from my mom. But my best friend is 3 times as much Sicilian as I am. This dude is the whitest motherfucker you'll ever see. It's like the Mexican thing, you're talking about pale Mexicans. I have Canelo Alvarez, the boxer.
So Canelo is actually from the same state in Mexico.
Is he?
Where my family's
what state
from.
of Mexico is it?
So it's state of Jalisco. He's from Guadalajara. My family is actually from a mountain town. Guadalajara is also the birthplace of tequila and mariachi, or maybe it's the state of Jalisco. So
the part of Mexico that my wife's family is from, or her mom's side, is northern, Chihuahua area. That's the birthplace of the burritos, actually.
Well, that's my favorite part then.
Tequila, burritos, and tacos. I mean, fuck, let's not lie.
That's what I'm saying. They do this.
A lot of people don't know that about Mexico. Is that it really is regional for northern Mexico, Chihuahua area, completely different. TJ, Tijuana area, Baja California, completely different. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, people don't think about it. It's just like the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, you have normal people up north and then trash in the south.
Well, I mean, there really is really big regional differences in all of America. Man.
So where my family's from, they are fucking seafood heavy.
Yeah.
Is it right on Gulf side?
It's on it touches the West Coast. There is.
Is it by Puerto Peñasco or something? Dude,
I don't know much about that. I am the fucking worst Latino ever.
You don't look like Latino.
I know, and it's great because it's every job I've had, I've always managed to get into a conversation with the guy that really wants to say the N-word or a racial epithet.
Oh my god!
And it's these fucking Mexicans. I'm hey, bro, my name's Ricardo, right? You Mexican? I thought you was an Italian. Legitimately, most of my adult life, that's what it's been like.
Well, that's the stupid thing about racism. That guy was racist as fuck. But 5 minutes ago, he thought you're white and had no problem with it.
Absolutely.
It's doesn't that defeat your whole argument of the whole racism thing? You're perfectly fine with this guy. Then you find out he's Mexican and not Italian. He's from a different shade. It's oh my God.
I had this one guy that met my wife for the first time come up and be hey, it was an Italian girl.
Oh,
huh? And my wife's brown. around. So,
Yeah, your wife, you did not fool me.
Yeah, so he
not
just
for a
comes out,
second.
"You're Italian, right?" And they're like, "No, I'm actually Mexican." And his whole demeanor, like,
Yeah.
and I mean, not like in a bad way, not like, but like
It's
you could
just like
definitely
a,
tell
whoa, my
there was,
bad.
yeah.
So like we're getting a mortgage. I won't say the bank's name,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they're notorious for being douchey to people.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We'll let you guys fill in the blank. On that
It has the same initials as whale
one.
So like, not that the government's reopened. I am definitely filing a fucking FTC complaint.
Good.
So like,
so what happened?
so like, dude, we're like legitimately like getting ready to close on a fucking mortgage. Mind you, we had a loan officer quit. One guy got shit canned. Another lady went on maternity leave and then quit over the phone.
That sounds like the
Apparently.
banking industry.
Yeah. I'll let
and,
the people out there that have never gone through a mortgage process, it's a lot. So if you guys are thinking about buying a home, give yourself like almost a year in advance of doing it.
Wait till the housing market crashes.
Yeah.
It took us 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So,
Well, you did a VA loan though, right? Yeah, so that's why.
we
I don't know,
go
probably.
from trying to close. We're supposed to close December 3rd, right?
Yeah.
We have everything lined up. We got the movers we used when we moved into our old house. Everything, man. You know. So we're going through all this shit, and they like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna have to push this back because your first fucking mortgage officer and the first underwriter fucked shit up. So they sent everything to Des Moines. So we finally get past the hurdle. Okay, now our
And
closing dates.
you live
all the
over
time.
in Council Bluffs, right?
No, I do not live in the
No.
great nation of Council, Kentucky.
No.
I am not part of the Confederacy.
There be dragons.
Everybody knows the war of the war of Northern aggression, right? It's like you had the line in Missouri and then Council Bluffs, proud Confederate
If
nation.
I know there are people that watch us from out of state, so just imagine like if Nebraska and Iowa were the whole country, Council Bluffs would be Mississippi.
Yes,
So that's basically
that's what
Oh.
Council Bluffs is.
that's pretty. Yeah, I mean,
So I live in Omaha. I'm like closer to Sarpy or something like that
Okay.
or whatever. And so now our fucking our closing date's the 29th. So I'm like, well, shit. And why you got pushed back so much? I had this banker. No.
drop her name, ruin her career.
Yeah.
I
We'll call her
would,
Karen.
but
If
like,
her real
Damn
name
it,
is
Karen.
Yeah.
Damn it,
oh, dude,
Karen.
she is definitely a
Fuck
fucking
Karen.
Karen. For
So
real.
what did she do? What did
All
Karen
right,
do?
so she's the underwriter.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay, so you got in finance. Underwriters aren't actually the bankers. Underwriters are like their
That's like the people
one
that-
job is to say
faceless
yes or
entity
no.
that
Yeah.
shuts
so
your
we
shit
so
down.
so dig this. So like the underwriter we had before was like yes.
Mhm.
Well, they moved it to Des Moines, so we get this new underwriter,
And they say no.
and she's like, "Well, I need some more information about your husband." Talking to my wife. My wife's the one that's handling all this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I'm getting grilled. Essentially, like this lady is like tiptoeing around my fucking citizenship.
Oh, are you
Oh,
serious?
dude? Seriously.
Oh my
bro.
god.
So she's like, so what qualifications do you have to be an electrician?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm like serious. I'm like, so I was like, well, I'm a licensed apprentice with the state of Nebraska. If you must know, I have to I have to verify my citizenship for
to work
the state.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? To hold this license.
You were born in America.
Oh yeah, dude. I was born in
How
fucking.
about this fucking birth certificate, bitch? Like,
So-
goddamn.
So like, okay, so she's like, okay, so what's your educational background? I'm like, this is getting a little weird here, lady. So I have like part of a fine arts degree, and I have a high school diploma.
She's just probing you to date you.
Yeah,
That's all it was.
dude. So like, I ended
Damn
up,
it,
She's
Karen.
a home ruiner.
Karen, you whore.
Karen is a fucking home wrecker. Man.
Karen.
She's a home like home builder.
Oh,
She gives
dude.
people homes and then she wrecks.
She
them.
wrecks them right after
Oh,
she
yeah.
sells it.
Oh, dude.
That's a fucking devious plan, Karen. And
So-
you're fucked up for that.
and it's like funny because like my wife is like on the phone with this chick at her office. You know, my wife's does accounting or accounts payable or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't really know what she does. I just
Yeah.
know she brings some money, and that's cool.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
She's out there stripping, and no, I'm just
Yeah.
fucking-
Well, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, like I know what she does but it's like I don't want to go into great fucking detail on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, honey, why are you paid in ones?
Why?
So I mean, like,
why do these dollar bills smell like cheap cologne?
so my wife is like getting furious. So like she was like telling me, she's like, I pulled my coworker aside and I put her on speakerphone and like she's like, you tell me about your husband's like where he works and what he does and
they clearly think like you're like
a drug
seller.
They think I'm like fucking illegal. They're
Oh,
asking about an
God.
apartment I had lived in. So I had updated my address years ago when we moved into the old house we just moved out of.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Cap One app that I was using at the time didn't have a spot to update your current address or like your permanent address. It only lets you update your mailing address. So my mailing address was always updated, and they're like trying to accuse me and my wife of like not living together. And I'm like, no, this is just...
they were calling it a green card marriage.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, it is not an underwriter's like job.
That's not their job. You don't work for immigration.
Yeah.
So
what the
like
fuck?
legitimately like I'm gonna tell you like right now, lady, like I am like I finally get on the phone with her, she's like, okay, I just need to verify your employment. Like, really, the 9 months worth of pay stub I've just given you isn't enough? Okay.
Jesus
so she's like,
Christ, dude.
she said she called the office and
Hey,
they said they never heard of me there.
If you were
office.
faking all of this, dude, this is like the most intricate,
the most
fraud
extravagant
ever, dude.
fucking-
You are like a fraud genius.
Yeah, like
Oh,
why
yeah.
are you doing this to buy a house under your own name? Like you should be out like scamming the government.
Yeah, you should be
it's
making
like,
a lot more
shit.
than what you are.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm like the Mexican Bernie Madoff.
Yeah,
Bernardo
exactly.
Madoff,
Bernardo.
So like I'm like, lady, I don't even fucking speak Spanish. I'm like the most I go to is fucking mild salsa. So I'm like,
I've never even eaten.
I don't even, dude. I'm white as shit, and I don't even eat mild salsa.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm like very clearly.
Oh,
white,
dude, it was
and
a
I probably speak
fucking
more Spanish.
fiasco. But like the icing on the cake is like she said she called my employer, and I was like, this shop has been around Omaha for years.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna give advertising. I like you guys, but I'm not gonna plug you.
Right? Yeah. Let's not do that.
So I'm like, I call them and they're like, yeah, no one ever called here. Really? And I called the guy, the HR guy, the manpower guy, and he was like, yeah, the receptionist here has been here for 30 years.
They didn't want to give you a loan. That's all there is to it.
Oh, I was
They're just fucking with you.
like when they said, when I complained to them on, mind you, I had to complain on Twitter to get somebody to respond to me.
That's the best way to do
because the
it.
customer fucking service phone line goes to a voicemail that's not set up. Fucking $1 billion company,
this is-
billions in bailouts.
There's like this
bailouts.
thing, like I think it's like equal opportunity lender, with
Equal
with-
Credit
Yeah,
Opportunity Act.
yeah. So yeah, they like by law they can't be doing this.
You
like,
can't.
people.
So like, I know if this is the bank that I'm thinking that we're all thinking when their whole scandal thing happened. There was like emails that got leaked, and they were like referring to like subprime lending as ghetto loans.
yeah,
They-
yeah.
They were calling. There was like several emails where the CEO or not CEO, somebody high up was referring to black people as mud people.
So,
like,
no,
it
the
was
bank-
some fucked
The
up
bank,
shit.
the bank that was doing that, I think, was like the Bank of New York Mellon, because this is public information. This was the Bank of the New York Mellon. This is public information. You can go onto like Wikipedia.
Oh
and
yeah.
Type
yeah.
in Bank of New York Mellon, and like the mud people scam or like that thing
Yeah.
will be on the Wikipedia page
Yeah.
for that bank. And like if you look at your
yeah.
checks and stuff, you see a lot of businesses like. You'll see checks from the Bank of New York Mellon.
Yeah.
You see them, and you're like, dang, dude, this is like that really fucked up bank that like was lending to like poor black people on purpose because they knew they could like scam the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Everyone was doing that though back in
No,
the
these
2000s.
guys were like
Crazy.
really
They were
bad,
bad.
for it. Yeah, these were like
Wells was doing it too.
Yeah.
And I just name dropped. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's public information. That's not private information though. That's public
Well, yeah,
information that these banks were doing that
Wells
shit.
was doing it too. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that was the bank in reference, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact Wells Fargo
Yeah.
was saying it too.
I think like Bank of America was probably doing it too. Like I don't know, but I'm sure like if you could verify.
Bank of America just really hates the Second Amendment. That's their thing. So I actually, we're not going to talk about that. Not what I did. So, Continue.
Oh my god! So,
So,
finally, we get approved, and we get the crappiest movers ever. I'm not even gonna get into that. But it's like the fucking hoops to jump through, and like if she just came outright and asked, like if I was a citizen, I'd been like, yeah, absolutely.
And like I know, like a lot of banks have to ask that anyway.
That
were you
should
born
be-
in? That's like it's KYC stuff. It's
That-
like federal law.
That
It's like
should
were
be
you,
something that like they ask
like,
you like right off the
whether
get-go,
it's
and then they
whether
don't have to ask you.
whether
again.
your last name is Hernandez or Jones, they should
Oh,
ask,
yeah.
were you
Yeah.
born in another country? Are you a citizen in another country? Those are
Yeah.
the first two things they ask you.
So, like, after it's all said and done, I try to reach out to them over the phone. Nothing fucking happens. Like, it just keeps going to this voicemail box is not set up.
Yeah.
This voicemail box is not set up. Okay, I'm going to do what every fucking lady that has the I want to talk to a manager haircut does when she can't get her way.
Oh.
Reach out to corporate office on
Yeah,
fucking
do
Twitter.
it, man.
And I get this like really cool dude. Like we're him and I are like shooting the shit on the phone. Like we're talking about all the shit that this fucking lady's done.
Mhm.
And he's like, man, that sounds fucked up, dude. I'll look into this. Obviously, it's like when police investigate themselves. Oh, we
Yeah.
found no
Yeah,
wrongdoing.
exactly.
I was like, yeah, bro, you're chill as fuck, but like, I really gotta talk to the FTC about this.
Right.
Something is amiss here.
And you know what's crazy stuff with like that is like where there's smoke, there's fire. You are not the only person.
Oh,
that this is
absolutely.
happening
No,
to. Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely
not. If they're doing it to one person, like I knew somebody who bought a car from a dealership. I had a relative.
yeah,
And the way it works in Nebraska where we live, when you buy your plates and sales tax are separate.
yeah.
So they were like, hey, and it's not paid for in your payment. You have to write a check for it. So they were like,
Well,
hey,
you can finance
you
that stuff.
can.
In,
So that's what she asked.
You have to tell
she
them.
said,
to do
can you
that, though.
finance this into my car?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's fine. So all they did was add whatever the sales tax and plates were to the gross of the deal. They didn't put it in writing.
Yeah.
She goes to the DMV 30 days later. They're like, where's our $3,000? And she's like, excuse me? So they fucked her over. Well, come to find out, I'm talking to my dad about it like 6 months later, and he's like, I bought a car from them and the same thing happened to me. And I'm like, oh, really? And like, yeah, it sounds like they're doing that a lot. But he raised hell and got his money back. But I mean, still, where there's smoke with those companies, there's always fire. Always.
Oh yeah,
So,
dude. I mean, and like
That was one thing. Like when I bought the Jeep, I would like that company where I would, that was one thing like they were very like adamant about. Is like you're still gonna have to pay the taxes on your car, so make sure you plate it. So make sure like you
make
don't
sure you
go
have
all out on this and this loan right here. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So
oh yeah, dude, it's just fucking wild, man. But like,
yeah.
you ever just wonder how people manage to breathe on their own? Like,
Yeah.
that's like what that
Every day.
experience
Yeah,
was.
every day. It's like, how did you get dressed today, sir? Like,
Oh,
it's,
man.
oh my goodness.
That like, and then like shortly after all this, I'm like, oh, finally, stress relief. No. I'm up for work one morning, and again, I'm in the great nation of fucking Kentucky. I'm like,
You know what sucks about that too is like, man, probably like 9 out of 10 people that you work with in like any company are probably gonna like be fine, right? But it takes that one to just sour the entire
idiot.
name,
Dude,
the
oh
entire
my
name of the
God.
company, man. They're not gonna focus on the 9 good
Yeah.
ones. You're gonna focus on the one shitty one.
Yeah.
It's like this
Fucking
like
idiots,
funny like expression like I've heard is like, you can like go out, be the biggest fucking like, man, go out, sleep with all these fucking women and stuff. You suck one dick though, you're forever a dick sucker. And that's all anyone's gonna remember about you.
Oh my God.
You fuck a million women. You suck one
It's so
dick.
true, though.
Yeah, you're always
It's
gonna
so
be the
true.
dick sucker.
It's so true, though. Like, honestly, it's
give one fucking reach around, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden,
all of a
Dude.
sudden you're the reach around guy.
Think about it like a football team, though, like on a defense. You got 10 guys that are all doing their job perfectly.
Mhm.
That one jackass who blows his coverage and gives up a 65-yard touchdown, he fucks you all over.
Yeah, it
Everyone
really
can
is.
do perfect, but one jackass fucks up and you're all
That's
Yep.
that team's defense.
Yep,
Fucked.
that's that
Yeah,
guy.
that team's defense.
7
sucks. It's
points
like, well,
because
no.
one guy blew it.
It's like no,
Right.
really, it's not the defense sucks. It's like really just like their corners are
Yeah,
like bad.
yeah.
It's like nope, their defense fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's your drunk uncle.
Yeah. Well, like those guys.
Let Dak throw the ball.
Those are the same guys. Those are the same guys that will be on there and just hating on like because of the tomorrow or Sunday, the
Sunday,
fucking
right.
Tom Brady haters.
Oh
man.
my god.
They're gonna be the same
Ugh.
fucking people that are like, oh, Tom Brady's a cheater. He's a fucking the whole Patriots team cheaters.
I love the thing where they're like, "Well, Tom Brady's gay." I'm like, Okay.
He's got
First off, he's
wife.
not. He's
got a
not.
supermodel
Okay.
wife.
Second off, it's 2019. If he was,
Who the fuck cares?
who gives a shit?
Even if his wife's his fucking beard, you're still
And
losing to a gay guy.
That's the thing, man. It's like, and if he was gay, he's getting way more dick than you on pussy. So I don't know what you
Yeah.
feel like.
You
He's
like-
getting
you
what
have to
he
be
wants
jealous
and
of that,
you're
right?
not.
I mean,
You're still
like-
I mean,
jealous.
he's a good looking guy.
Why would
Absolutely.
you fucking emphasize that though? Like, because like you're saying, like, well, my team got beat by some queer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That guy
I think-
beats your team every year.
My thing with Tom Brady is he's been good. Like the Patriots have been good for so long.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I know
It's
people
amazing.
just don't like him because they hate to see the same people be good.
Mhm.
Like it gets stale.
Right.
But, like did
There's a
people-
hatred.
Did
There's
people do
I
this to
actually-
MJ back in the '90s on the Bulls? Like I'm too young to
Yes.
remember.
They hated
Oh,
MJ
God.
like Brady.
Yeah.
I hated Jordan
And
so
then now,
much.
20 years now, like he's the best basketball player ever, and now you can't even say LeBron is better than him,
Yeah.
or otherwise you get all this fire.
LeBron
for.
gets
But
the
it's
same
like,
as
dude,
Brady.
like back in the '90s, how did people treat like Michael Jordan?
I don't
I think everyone
care
acknowledged
for
that he was
LeBron
the
personally,
best, but
but-
hated douche.
Yeah.
Hated
Like, he's a good basketball player, though. He carried
Absolutely, no.
Cleveland to, like, 5
LeBron will play
championships.
basketball like a million times better than I will any day. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like legitimately, Mexicans don't play fucking basketball. Like, I don't know where.
When you say-
fuck, I can't say his name.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know. He played for Dallas.
Is he like Argentinian?
Oh, Barea?
or-
JJ Barea?
No,
He was Brazilian.
Yeah, dude. Like,
they had a Mexican national that was playing for their team for like 3 seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
huh?
He was never more than a 6th man. Though.
So you know what I've noticed too, and it's weird. Like Mexican people, like there's not a whole lot of Mexican people in the NFL. Like
No.
No,
I was going to say the only one's a murderer, but he was Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez?
I think he's Mexican.
I mean, we're naming onesies and twosies though,
Yeah.
man. Like
like what it is, man, is just like
It's a cultural thing. It's soccer.
is
It's
it?
a
But
sport.
I mean, look how many
Uh,
Mexicans are in Texas, dude.
so I play fucking
Like
hockey,
American
you know?
ass Mexicans in Texas. Like Texas is like the football state, you know.
Oh yeah,
True.
oh yeah.
So why?
I think
Yeah,
you're dealing with genetics though.
I mean, there's
I mean,
some fast, strong ass
It's not-
Mexican
it's
dudes
not
out
fast
there.
and strong. It's bulk.
Yeah.
But
it's
no,
genetic
there is though. There's some big, bulky.
Like
fucking
you look at guys
Mexican
like
dudes out
what
there.
was the MMA fighter's name? Cain Velasquez. Dude.
Yeah.
The guy's a fucking just a mound of muscle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you're talking about some.
Like
Whereas
But there's
the averages of the
What-
races that you see in the NFL.
what it is,
the
though,
bigger-
like it's
Yeah,
just
that's
really
true.
not fucking.
I mean, there's plenty of white guys that are out there though that are just like some fucking white guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they ought to
Tom
be, like,
Brady's got a
team
dad bod.
Like, I mean, there's some fast ass Mexican dudes. Why aren't they out there playing like running back or playing like
Well, you can also
wide
say that they're
receiver?
probably smart enough to not give themselves that many concussions.
You
I
know, the
mean,
thing
they're
is,
smart enough to not
like,
make
yeah.
fucking $4 million a
coaches
year.
don't really
being-
reach out to Hispanics. You know what I mean?
And that's probably.
That's all.
Do they?
Oh.
But is it the coaches or is it that the players don't put themselves in the situation? To
I mean,
get
like, I guess,
reached
like,
out by the coaches.
This is
I
the
mean,
fucking thing that I got. Like growing up, like I've always wanted to play hockey. I started playing at age 28, and as a kid, I was always told like by some of my friends, Mexicans don't play hockey, and they're right. There's like legitimately like I think there's like 5.
There's like one black guy.
I know
in
of
the
one
NHL.
black guy.
There's
He
one-
plays
there's
for
one
the
black
Southern
guy.
or whatever.
Yeah,
He plays
yeah.
in Philadelphia.
So like
yeah.
PK Subban, he's a black French Canadian.
Yeah.
There's several black people in the NHL. Like there's
Yeah.
a good documentary called Soul on Ice that
Yeah.
talks about blacks and
Yeah.
professional hockey.
Yeah.
But like it's just like this thing like, and I'll say this is true for fucking Hispanic culture because I fucking grew up in it. You know, they put themselves into a box sometimes, and it's like, oh yeah, we don't play those sports. Those are, you know, we don't believe this.
Oh,
'cause
really?
oh yeah, dude.
But you know, the thing is like someone who's like Tex Mexican is like way different from like a
oh
California.
yeah,
Mexican.
absolutely.
And Texas lives and breathes and bleeds football. Like
Yeah,
you can't
that's
tell me
true.
there's like how many people in Dallas are Mexican.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that somewhere there are some kids.
You
playing
can
high
also
school football.
point to the rise in popularity of soccer in Texas now.
If you ever want to
that's
see
true.
some,
that's true, but I mean, there's so many goddamn people in Texas.
Yeah.
Like you
Texas
can't.
is a wild state.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know there's more fucking tigers in Texas owned as pets than there are zoos
I
in the
know,
United
dude.
States? Isn't that
That's
just fucking
hilarious.
crazy?
Well, there's a lot of really wealthy people in Texas too.
What a
Yeah.
trump card though. Like imagine you got this fucking machine gun and a pet tiger. You know every one of them down there does. Like
you can fucking mount up to machine gun to that tiger.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
shit.
yeah, man.
machine gun tigers. Holy
That sounds
shit.
like
dude.
a good band.
So, hey, one thing that's really cool about tigers: tigers are the only like big cats that will actively hunt humans. Like,
Really?
they
Lions
actively
don't do it?
hunt. No, lions don't. Tigers are the only big cat that will actively hunt
Wow.
a human being. Like, they will heat you as food.
That's
like,
wild.
Naturally.
Also, they're the only ones that can fight on, like they can swipe with both paws.
Yeah.
Like you see lions do that in
Just
movies
one.
and stuff, but it's
Oh,
they actually
really?
can't physically.
Yeah,
do
you
that.
know, like everyone thinks lions are like the biggest, meanest big
Nope.
head. No, fucking tigers.
No, a
Like,
tiger will fuck you up.
Tigers are killing machines, dude.
They're bigger than lions. Like the biggest tigers are bigger than.
And they're like stronger per body mass too. Like they're
How big are
really,
they? Are they
They're
big?
huge.
Tiger
man.
versus gorilla, who wins?
gorilla.
You think?
Probably. Well, gorillas are really strong
Okay.
too.
So strong.
Me and 4 friends of my choice versus the gorilla. Who wins?
I think
Gorilla.
Okay, dude,
maybe
if it was
like
like
three.
5'11", 280, we would fucking kick his ass.
I'd say
Me
maybe
and
like
4 of my friends, we
Dude,
take him. Two
You
guys come
punch
along.
him. He giggles at you. He punches
Yeah.
you. Your face breaks.
Look
You
at
might
look at
get
the
like
gorillas
raped
at
when he's like trying to assert dominance.
we can see the gorillas at the zoo here in Omaha.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those things are just like straight.
I like to antagonize them and I like pound on my chest.
The funniest shit is when they like kids do that and they smack on the
Yeah,
ass and
yeah.
the kids are like, ah!
Yeah, that's the funniest shit.
Oh, dude, the last time I was at the zoo several years ago, but there's a kid antagonizing this fucking silverback. The gorilla charged the glass, pounded on it, and the kid pissed himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
shit.
do that. So you go to the Henry Dorley Zoo at any
the
day.
best
You will
zoo in
see
the
that.
world.
You will see that 3 times in an hour.
Oh, yeah,
My
you'll
kid
see-
pissing
yeah.
himself at
There was
gorillas.
this video.
To answer the tiger and lion question, the Siberian tiger can weigh up to 800 pounds, whereas large
God.
African lions weigh about 550, which
Oh,
is still
man.
huge.
That's like
800
a
pounds on
third.
That fucking Siberian
That tiger is gonna eat that lion for fucking dinner. dude.
800 pounds.
That
That's
is
like,
an apex predator.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
that's like almost as big as my ex after we broke up.
Oh my
Just
God,
kidding.
dude.
I'm just kidding.
But no, so like there was this video that came out maybe like 3-4 years ago of the Henry Dorley Zoo where like this family was filming the gorilla. They were probably making faces at him. Like gorillas really hate eye contact.
Oh,
Yeah.
So whatever they were doing piss him off.
Mhm.
He goes and smacks the glass, and this is like fucking like ballistic glass. That's it, because they have
Yeah.
This
to.
is the one with the
This-
glass
This
cracks.
cracks. This
Oh,
glass
yeah.
real, like,
Shit,
and
man.
this was in the Henry Dorley Zoo.
This was here?
Yeah, you
Do
can
the
even like.
zookeepers carry like guns and shit?
Or
Or the tranquilizers, or-
Harambe.
Dude, fucking
Hey,
RIP.
Probably. I don't know if they've had.
They've got to have one on.
They probably have them, but I
Somewhere.
don't know if they've ever had to use it in the Henry Dorley. But
I mean-
they don't have it set up in the Henry
Do you
Dorley.
want the
where-
PR nightmare of killing Harambe again?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, they
You asked
Look.
how strong a gorilla was. A silverback gorilla once lifted 1,800 pounds.
Holy shit.
how
So
how
fuck
strong
you
is
and your 4 friends.
how much?
that
How
was
much
like
do
my
the-
max in high school back in my good old days.
How
when I
much
was-
do the Tigers bench? Like, is there some
Tigers bench?
like how much is there like for real though? Is there like a stat to how strong a tiger is? Because like I know tigers hunt solo, so I don't think.
Well, a
3 of
grizzly
them-
bear would fuck them all up anyway.
I
Doesn't
mean, it's
matter.
always the question is always the grizzly versus the silverback.
Yeah.
I
Those
mean,
are comparable.
That's probably
I'm
the
not
best
worried so
one,
much
though.
with the grizzly. I'm more, like the grizzly's a big bear, but what about the brown bear or a polar bear?
So,
a polar
like-
bear is meaner than a grizzly.
But
that's
those
one.
well,
hybrids,
you know what a
those,
grizzly is like a mutation of a brown bear. So
This is a
Grizzly's
smaller
bigger,
brown
though,
bear.
right?
yeah, grizzlies are like a
Or-
freak
But-
retard, like a freak.
Frankenstein's monster.
They're like
brown
a
bears.
freak like mutation of brown bears to be like huge and super like more
Oh.
aggressive. So that's
Like-
like they like speciated almost.
Like
yeah.
there's a hybrid though. Like these polar bears are moving inland and like mating with like brown
Yeah,
bears or
because of the
Kodiak
ice
bears.
melting, yeah.
And so it's like you're getting like these hybrid fucking like bears that are just like
Really?
oh yeah, they're hyper aggressive, dude.
Yeah,
It's like
because
the
up when you go like live up in the north, like Alaska
Oh,
or like
yeah.
northern Canada, a huge issue is like bears like breaking into your trash. Like that's like a
Well,
nuisance.
that's-
They're almost
I-
like big raccoons.
I have a friend from Michigan who we're actually going to get to guest on here in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
He was telling me, Sean is his name. He was telling me a story about because he's from Michigan. There's like a part of northern Michigan up almost into Canada.
Yeah,
There's like it's so rampant with wolves that like he's telling me he's like you own several guns or you don't live up there.
Yeah.
Because the wolves will bust into your house and fucking eat you.
they
Like,
they might not
will
even
come to
eat
your house.
They might not even eat you, but think they might break in and like eat your dog.
Imagine coming
Yeah.
home to a wolf. Speaking of killing dogs, I hate to turn this shit.
oh,
Did
dude.
you hear about that shit?
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
You were asking about bears. There was a video in Montana State University had where they had a grizzly bear tossing around a 700-pound garbage dumpster.
Oh my god!
Well, that's almost a whole
700
gorilla.
pounds and a
That's
dumpster.
almost a whole gorilla. I think the biggest
700
bear
pounds
has
in a dumpster. We gotta quit talking about my ex.
them.
Okay?
Oh my
That's
God.
all I'm saying.
Dude.
Anyway,
Oh, dude, you're not gonna go into.
I didn't name drop. They don't know which one I'm talking about. Anyway,
You're not gonna start talking about like police officers killing dogs, are you?
yeah, we are. So, did you hear about that stuff in Houston?
No.
Dude, that's crazy.
It was like 3
Let's
days
hear it.
ago. So it was like they suspected these people of selling black tar heroin, and
Who's they? Like the
The-
FBI
the
or
police,
something?
the
Like
police.
the state police in Texas or
So-
City cops.
City cops, okay.
City Houston. So they kicked in their door in the middle of the night, SWAT team raid,
Mhm.
plain clothes, I might add. They're not even wearing police shit.
Oh my god.
The dude, I mean,
Is there like video proof of that too? Or
That was
I'd
the
have to find
official-
it. I could edit it in,
But-
maybe,
yeah, like
or
it's
just
out
like
there
a picture of
though.
the article or something. But yeah,
But it's out there though, right? Like you
yeah.
can find
So they kicked the door in. They shot his dog. I mean, you kick my door in at 3 o'clock in the morning, especially in plain clothes, and then well, first off, I don't care if you're in a police uniform. If you shoot my dog, one of us is going to leave in a body bag. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, but anyway, you kick my door in, shoot my dog in plain clothes. What are you going to do? You're going to shoot back. So he actually shot 4 of them, and then they killed him, and then the wife picked the gun up and shot them, and then they killed her. So it was like they fucking
Disabled
massacred. Yeah, disabled vet. Guess what they didn't find? Heroin.
yeah.
And then they changed their report like a couple hours later to say they did find it, which means they planted it.
That's like
Well,
that's
no,
like
they
that's
said
like
they found a white powdery substance.
Sugar.
well, like
Yeah.
sugar, flour.
Sugar,
like,
protein
that's
That's like the modern equivalent of like 80s like cops like
That-
sprinkling crack on
Yeah.
the guys. they
Except
shot
we
in
have
the street.
videos of those guys sprinkling crack on
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
now.
Well, it's so trumped up because like whenever I hear those reports now, I don't take them seriously because I had a friend who was, and this guy's going to remain nameless for a slew of reasons, raided, and they found like legally owned weapons while they found, and he got off on some technicality, but they found legally owned weapons and they hoisted it as this big gun bust that they took like 15 ARs off the street.
Are we talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was not like the guns had nothing to do with any of this stuff, and
But
it was
they found marijuana.
yeah, but they found
no,
marijuana.
they found pot.
They found pot, like not like
fucking
not-
call the
not
fucking-
even like distribution level, like your
Like a
stoner
house,
neighbor
found like a
that
half
smokes a
ounce.
bong in his basement. Yeah.
God calling the cavalry. We got a fucking half ounce of pot in
Yeah.
the house.
Oh, Lord.
There
It's-
goes the neighborhood.
They
So-
plant. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Fuck the police.
Oh my god, man.
Coming straight from the underground.
But
You got it bad because I'm brown.
It sucks too because that's
NWA?
like I don't know the exact percentage. That's got to be like 5% of
Like
like
that
actual
lady,
cop
that Dallas
stuff.
PD
But-
officer.
yeah.
Like we were talking about though, the bad ones.
Yeah.
Make the rest suck.
Yeah, you want
Oh,
one
absolutely.
dick.
Can
You
you
know,
say it's 5% though?
I don't know. I
If
don't know
the rest
percentage.
of them. So here's the argument. If these are just the bad apples, why aren't the other cops stopping them? If they're
They
supposed
should
to
be.
be good guys.
It's groupthink.
That's the thing, man. Like you get in that mentality. Like this is coming from somebody that has worked in a very closely related field to police work. I used to work in a jail and I used to work in a prison. Now I can at least say this: I have a clean conscience. I had never broke any fucking laws, nothing like that. But you get in that mentality, like you're in those high stress situations, like where you
Icebergs
really
down, yeah.
are going against some real fucking shitbags.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
like you form
definitely.
those like bonds. Like I will bleed for this guy over here because
Right.
he fucking stuck it out by me when we're doing the damn
Right.
thing. You know,
Right.
and that's what happens. Like you feel like it's almost like a guilt. You feel like if one of them fucks up,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
can see that. Well, I mean, it's like you're.
But at the same time, you took an oath.
right.
You take an oath to uphold the fucking Constitution. You take an oath to protect John Q. Public.
That's
Right.
the thing is when you're a cop, you're not serving the buddy on your left and right though. You're serving the
Oh,
community.
absolutely.
You're a public servant.
Absolutely.
As a cop, so
And like my thing is like you look at this lady in Dallas,
Which one's that?
the one that misthought this black guy's apartment was hers, and she
Oh,
was
she
shot.
shot him?
Oh.
So I remember reading a news report,
Oh, my
and
God.
they thought it was like oh, drugs were found in her
Yeah,
bag. They said drugs were found in marijuana was found in her bag.
Yeah. Well,
They
yeah.
rated it
They
wrong.
originally
Yeah.
they just said that marijuana was found in his house. I'm like, okay, the guy has marijuana in his house. Doesn't mean you get to shoot him. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And like I think once it comes out, because they have electronic locks, that like that door wasn't unlocked
Yeah.
and it wasn't ajar.
Well, she kicked it in.
She definitely
She had a
forced.
key.
She
She
forced
was-
her way in there.
In the guy.
my
Oh, she
thing
was
about
fucking the guy.
Yes.
Are you
She
serious?
had a key to that apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, then we're not getting the whole story. He fucked somebody else, and she wanted revenge.
my
Guaranteed.
so
I
my
heard that was
guarantee it. He
debunked.
gave
I
her
heard
the
that was
clap.
debunked.
Hang on. What?
I heard that was debunked that they were like having a relation. My this is what I think because they let her.
You can look that up.
stay away from fucking. They didn't like they sent her home. They fucking sent her home that night rather than get arrested like you and I would get arrested for any kind of shooting.
Yeah, they just like relieved her of duty,
and they legitimately searched that guy's apartment. Like had nothing to do with her. You know what I mean? Like she should have been arrested right there. She shouldn't have fucking. They're trying to. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, they were. But what bothers me is like, oh, we performed a UA. Yeah, you performed a UA when she went to jail.
Yeah.
Several weeks after the fact.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that chick was high. Like.
Probably. What?
Yeah, probably.
Everything.
Whatever the fuck knows, is like they're talking like, oh, she was working
from DMT soccer.
DMT. Yeah. Hey, DMT. You wouldn't even be able. She wouldn't be able to stand up if she was on DMT.
No,
maybe there's some real professional.
Their excuse
guys,
was it's possible from all the long hour shifts that these officers are working that she could have been. But I've worked.
There's something to that because I've had to work some long shifts too.
Yeah,
I used to work 13-hour shifts,
but not. I mean, God, like not where I'm going to take it upon myself to go murder somebody.
Never mind. Now I sound like a bitch.
So my thing about like this case, like stuff like this is like for every single one case you can show me on that, I could show you like 3 like body cam footages of some guy pulling over somebody and getting fucking murdered by a guy, like a cop getting murdered by pulling over somebody because their headlight or tail light.
Well, the problem is it's like, yes, I agree with that, but at the same time, there's people that have such unrealistic expectations. Like there was some cop shot and killed a guy for coming at him with a knife. Like, okay, if you come at me with a knife, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And then her excuse was, well, he could have just shot him in the leg. I'm like,
no,
this isn't a fucking Liam Neeson movie. Because you know what happens when that guy shoots at his leg and misses and it hits some little kid? You're going to be the first one calling for him to go to fucking jail.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's, like, come on. And the best way to neutralize the threat is to hit at the biggest center of mass. That happens to be his torso, and that may or may not kill him. It's like a deadly weapon. Fuck off.
It's very wise of people to not just take like a general stance on it because you're always gonna have the bad apple. I mean, it's just like the military, man. Like not everybody is Abu Ghraib in the fucking army. You know what I mean? Like So yeah, I mean,
what was that chick's name? Lindy England. I think that was
Abu Ghraib.
Which one? Abu Ghraib was a whole unit.
There was a bunch of them.
Yeah. The one chick though, the thumbs up and the cigarette.
Well, I think that was that the shit where they were like taking pictures of
like making them like pile up on each other naked and shit. She's
I'm thinking of these Marines who got in trouble for like posing a pic with like pictures of them like fucking like pissing on some dead Taliban guys or something.
I was thinking of the Marines that like we're just gonna list all the military shortcomings. The Marines that threw the puppy off the cliff.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that video?
Adam Motari.
Dude, I saw that video. That was his 5th grade. That fucking like scarred me, man. They just got this puppy and they're like, oh, look at him.
Cute little puppy.
Roll it off a cliff.
Yeah. I mean, Abu Ghraib is like you can go look at like Dateline or whatever NBC shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's this one this one guy from a certain unit like 2ID and he was like Bill Sims or I can't think of his name like off the top of my head, but like you can Google. He's in Leavenworth right now.
Yeah.
He got in trouble by like him and his squad were just like fucking murking people in Iraq, right, for like a hot minute.
You told me about that.
Yeah, and then one squad guy in that like narked on it basically, and like got the whole squad got all hemmed up.
What?
That's Joe Rogan meme. If you think about it, gorillas don't know any bodybuilding techniques, so we've probably never seen one at full strength.
That's true.
You know,
hey, imagine a gorilla that you actually train.
You train.
Yeah, they have opposable thumbs. I mean, they can probably do some curls and shit, right?
You got him in the gym.
Yeah, but I mean, same with a grizzly bear, though.
Imagine here's some creatine, silverback gorilla.
Give that creatine to the grizzly bear too, man.
I think the gorilla, like they've tested it, and I would have to look this up. I think the gorilla is physically stronger, but it doesn't have the same killing tools that a bear has. So
because the grizzly bear's got teeth.
He's got them claws, and he's got like 7 feet of reach.
Fair. We make it a boxing match.
There you go. You put gloves on him.
I mean, because
I think it's the gorilla.
I think the gorilla wins.
I see those.
fair.
I don't know, man. I think that bear could still swipe pretty hard.
Well, if the bear can kind of trap the gorilla in the corner and kind of lean on it a little bit, like heavyweight style, it might.
The difference too is I don't think gorillas are like they hunt like animals like really. I mean, like I think they primarily. I think
they got
primarily,
some gorillas get some big ass teeth though.
but they are. But I think they're
They're like
primarily
vegans,
like.
They eat vegans.
Yeah, I think they're vegans.
Oh, I thought you said they ate vegans. I was like, let's unleash a couple of them. It's just in the streets.
I think gorillas are primarily like herbivores. I mean, I think they'll eat bugs and stuff, but like, most monkeys are like that. Most monkeys are primarily like they eat like bugs and like nuts and fruits and like grass.
But stop saying shit like that because like you're gonna give fucking vegans.
Yeah,
bring it on.
Vegans,
I would love it.
Vegans versus one angry gorilla.
You know what? You know what, Nick? If we get vegan hate, our next episode, we're gonna be fucking smoking a rack of ribs on camera.
Getting
vegan
hate is like getting like fucking. I can't even compare it. It's like
it's just so common now.
It's like getting furry hate.
If vegans aren't hating on you on the internet, then you're not doing something right.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like incels, man. It's
Getting hate from vegans on the internet is like getting hate from furries on the internet. Yeah, or like getting hate from Scientologists on the internet.
Vegans will surround.
Vegans get militant.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Scientologists will sue the shit out of you.
Even furries hate furries.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They can't
vegans
way.
will hate other vegans because they're not vegan.
They're not vegan enough.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's like competition.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, really.
You saw the video of that guy that butchered the deer leg?
Yeah.
For the vegan protesters. You know what though? But it was in Canada, but he was on Rogan and he's like, I serve vegan options on my menu. I'm best friends with a vegan restaurant owner across the street. I put up a sign and it was a joke, and these people surrounded my restaurant for weeks. And it's like, you're harassing my customers.
Dude,
He's nicer. I would have come out with a shotgun. I mean, honestly,
Canada.
It's not individual
baseball
vegans.
pass.
No, they can have guns in Canada.
Can they?
Yeah.
They can have the shotgun, but if he comes out of a store with it, it's going to be much more frowned upon.
It's
absolutely.
not individual vegans that are annoying. It's
No,
it's
individual,
the
dude.
mentality.
But vegans are always in a fucking group. They surround themselves with other vegans.
I'll tell you, I dated a vegan. This is not the ex I keep bashing on. I dated a vegan, very nice person.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like some of their food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't have a problem with vegans. Individually, I think most, not all, just like any other group, most of them are good people. And they just care about animals or they do it for health reasons.
My best friends
Hey, bro, the vegans are not sending their best. They're not sending their best.
They're not. They're sending their murderers, their rapists.
Well, I mean, like, look at like me and Zach do keto, and like, I mean, the people that do that aren't like protesting in front of butchers and stuff, saying you are murderers and stuff.
You guys are going out and protesting wheat farmers.
We're not going in front of bakeries going carbs are murder.
Oh yeah.
Wheat farmers.
Yeah. You are murdering the U.S. population. We're not doing that because that's ridiculous and that's fucking dumb.
So, is this where we get to talk about keto? Because I'm always done with.
Let's talk about keto.
So
You know anything about keto?
I did keto. I did keto, like a more so like paleo oriented keto. Like I would have one day where I would just like eat fucking like a sweet potato or two.
Yeah.
I did really well on keto, and then I started working in public service for a county that I put on like 60 pounds and became a fat piece of shit again. But keto was really effective, man. Like I had like great, like I slept fucking great. I fucking had like my moods were stable because like you didn't have that spike. You know what I mean?
My thing about it,
relying on caffeine as much.
I think keto is like a good tool to do to lose like X amount of weight, and keep in mind that you're going to gain like 5 or however much weight, like plan for that while you're doing it.
Right.
Because like you're still like, yes, it is like kind of like a thing where you are cutting out carbs from your diet. Yes, it's fine. Call it tacky, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you're also doing a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
So you are still going like any other diet out there. You are still shooting for like 1,600 calories in a day, like just like fucking like paleo, just like doing like meats and greens, like like doing any of those other diets. So like it's still legitimate
to me. So keto is the easiest diet for me to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
What I think the biggest thing is when you're on a diet that has restrictions, it makes you think about everything that you're eating. And
Yeah.
when you think about it, you don't eat junk.
Like,
And that's the biggest. Like me cutting out pop is probably where half my weight.
Dude, I dropped 20 pounds when I quit drinking pop. I didn't change my diet. I still had the shit Buffalo Wild Wings diet that I was on. I just quit drinking. I swapped pop with beer.
dude, how did your
Pop with
fucking
water.
colon survive a Buffalo Wild Wings day?
Well, I
lost
did.
like 30
Like, did you have to
pounds
buy
in
some
4
fucking
months,
like
so.
stock and Brawny or like Sherman?
Yeah, I mean that's
Fucking Sherman stock shoots up.
You just with
Got this one guy
keto.
in Nebraska.
with keto, you hear it's like getting kind of popular. I guess one of the Kardashians did it, so like
Oh
it's getting.
God! So now it's the.
But no, you hear a lot of really good success stories on
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and then if you kind of like wean yourself onto it and just go onto like just a regular like basic balanced healthy diet after that, you only gain a little bit of weight back,
Yeah.
and you can still go back to eating carbs as long as you're not going back to eating pizza all
Right, I mean,
because you're
you
going to
can't-
gain that
you
weight
can't
back.
Dude,
So I
I
think-
think keto pizza.
Yeah, you
can't
can
even
make keto
cauliflower
pizza.
pizza and
Almond flour, coconut flour for
It's
the
not.
crust.
It's not. It's the
But
same,
like, I just like loaded this thing. Like, I found Hy-Vee actually makes a freaking pizza sauce that has no added sugar. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it tastes good.
Mhm.
It doesn't suck.
they can do a
But,
lot
like-
with foods now. It kind of worries me. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know,
They
man.
use monk fruit for a lot of
Yeah,
sweetener.
yeah,
But-
yeah.
I like loaded it with like, and it was like weird. I was just like having these like weird food cravings. Like, I want bacon on here, and then I want some fucking banana peppers,
Yeah.
and that was my pizza.
If you're
and it
doing
was
keto
delicious.
too, you're gonna learn to love like avocados.
Oh,
Avocados
yeah.
are like your money makers, man.
I love avocados.
Put a little salt and lime on them.
Avocado
Oh, yeah.
guac, man. Guac is
Guac is
clutch.
amazing.
So I think any diet within reason will work
Yeah.
as long as you stick to
You
it.
just have to stick to it. Yeah.
So
exactly.
I've seen people that have fallen on their face doing keto.
Mhm.
I've seen people that have fallen on their face doing the vegan thing,
Mhm.
and I've seen the opposite for both of those
Mhm.
things. So beginning of the year last year, I was at 249. I dropped like 40 pounds
Yeah.
over the year, right? I still got a little bit of ways to go, and I put some of it back on, but long story.
But the thing is too about you is like, I mean, you work like almost a full-time job.
Yeah.
You go to school. We do
Right.
this. Like, I mean, people really underestimate how much of a change, like just keeping like not drinking like soda, like not drinking as much beer, and then just
Right.
like paying attention to how much.
So,
you eat,
yeah.
and then just like going and like running for a little.
That's what I
walking,
did.
like-
was- I cut
Yeah.
shit out. I quit eating shit. It's like I'm going to fill my car up with gas. I don't need to go in and get a zebra cake.
Yeah.
I'm going, and on another big thing, and this goes back to the keto thing with the carbs.
Mhm.
I switched beer for rum.
Mhm.
So the key to losing weight, pay attention, getting drunk faster.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can still on keto.
Fuck,
I can
dude.
still go and drink.
I love beer though. It's so
I know.
Yeah, I know,
good.
me
It's-
too.
I caved on the beer. I drink that.
What is so
But-
with beer? Like, what is this recent like internet hate with IPAs, man? Like, I've been drinking IPAs
because fucking
forever.
hipsters
Just like
fucking
everything
ruined
ruined
it.
it.
It's
But-
like PBR. Hipsters ruined PBR now. Like
PBR, I always associate
You know
PBR
what?
with
If
white
you're
trash.
gonna let, if you're gonna
hipsters
let,
are stealing white trash culture.
so my thing is like if you're gonna
Appropriation.
let a certain group that likes something ruin you liking something, like that's just as fucking weak minded as
Oh,
not liking
absolutely.
something or liking
Mhm.
something because everyone around you likes it. You know what I mean? So like hating IPAs because douchey hipsters like it, but I mean IPAs
I
are
liked it
fucking
was
good.
It's pretty good. I don't
Yeah.
drink them as often as
Some
I
of
used
them
to.
are good.
They're heavy, but
That's the thing is I can't
bloat.
get drunk on IPAs.
I
Yeah, I
can't.
get way too bloated when I drink them.
because they're really heavy.
You get
They're,
like, I get like
heavy
two in,
beer.
and I'm like, I can't drink
Yeah.
this 6-pack.
But
But you give me
That's-
some Tecate Light. Oh yeah, I'll go through
It's
it.
better
fucking-
than that sugary shit.
Oh,
though.
absolutely.
Like the Mike's Hard.
or like
Whoa.
what is it? What's
not
it?
your dad's root
Smirnoff
beer.
Ice?
Yeah, I had one of those not your dad root beers. I
You
was
just
I
like
had-
feel it on your teeth.
yes,
Yeah.
for your teeth. And I already have bad teeth, but I had like 3 of them,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I was sitting there with my best friend. I'm working on my third. I'm like, bro, I'm about to throw up. I'm not even buzzed, and I'm about to throw up because there's just so much sugar
Mhm.
in my stomach right now. I can't do this, and it's ugh.
One thing I learned with like stouts are kind of like the stouts are really like dark, almost the opposite. IPAs, real dark. To me, they're bitter. Someone taught me you put a little like some salt into a stout and it like tastes like way
really?
better. It gets rid of a
I
lot of
should try that.
bitterness.
Ah,
Yeah.
dude,
I
I
should
love
try
stouts.
that.
I like my favorite though is this. It's an oatmeal cream stout.
It comes in a can, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the kind I've
Oh,
had. They
dude,
put a
it's
little salt
so
in there.
Fucking good.
It's really good.
I don't
know,
mind the
just
bitter.
salt, like
I like the bitter.
so.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like
Man,
that.
well, so Mexicans when they drink beer, they always put salt and lime.
Salt
in it.
lime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
always
No.
do.
And my wife thinks I'm so fucking weird for it. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
this is just like how my dad drank beer.
Yeah.
And it's like, And it's fucked up. When I go to Mexico, they're not drinking Mexican beer. No, they're fucking crushing Budweiser.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, legitimately.
Well, they still crush Coronas, though.
On occasion, but no, when I was down there, like, they're all about Budweiser. I'm like, what the fuck?
They're all
This is
redneck
fucked
and
up,
shit.
dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. No, like,
It's funny, like Mexico is like cowboy. Like
Is it?
they're all like cowboy stuff down there.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it started. The
Yeah.
vaquero culture
Yeah.
came to the U.S. via the Texas, you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But,
Oh.
yeah, the cowboy stuff like that. And it's like, if like, you get these fucking Billy Bob Carl Franks from, like, Mississippi to sit down and have a ice cold Bud Heavy with their
with
their
Carlos
fucking,
De Jesus Guzman or something.
you know, oh
They're
yeah,
gonna-
absolutely.
They're gonna agree on a
They're-
lot
oh
of
yeah,
shit.
they're gonna
Probably,
be like,
yeah.
yeah, I like Chevy. Yeah, I like Chevy too.
Yeah.
Fuck them
Yeah.
Fords. That's a Clears drives. You know, that's what it's gonna be.
Here's what I've never understood, kind of slightly political. Republican strategy has been the wall thing for a while now.
Yeah.
Not all Republicans, but
Correct.
the Trumpster Republicans.
Well,
yeah.
a lot
Trailer
of
park
Republicans.
Yeah.
Most of the Mexicans that I've worked with as I've moved around the country are incredibly conservative.
Yeah, man. They
and
really
would
are.
be the core voting bloc.
Same with
of the
Arabs.
Republicans.
Hey,
No,
same
but
with,
they're
same with
alienating
Arabs.
off of the immigration.
Same with Arabs too. Like if they like focus some of that toward that, like a lot of their voting core could be the Mexican culture or the Mexican people in America, because like a lot of cultural issues, like a lot of Mexican people are like right wing on it. They're conservative.
It's
about
because
it.
of the Catholicism. And
Yeah.
I will absolutely tell you that is 100% like growing up as a kid. I remember my mom legitimately like talking about how much she disliked not Bob Dole. Oh my God.
Did you say Bob Dylan?
No, she did dislike Bob Dole, but she was going to vote for him because of his pro-life
Oh, really?
stance. Oh yeah, that
People
was
vote on that
absolutely
one
it right
thing.
there.
Yeah.
I think probably not the younger generations, but as you look at polls on abortion, like Hispanics as a voting bloc are much more pro-life than every other group.
Oh,
Like, it's
absolutely.
massive.
You think
Absolutely.
Because I mean they have really really strong family values, man.
Well,
a lot of them do,
did
and that's
you-
just like Mexican culture. So
Did you see the fucking video? It was on some excuse me. It was on some radio show, the governor of Virginia.
Oh God!
Did you see that guy?
what?
Oh,
What did
So
you?
he was on there, and there was some bill in the legislature that would make post-birth abortion legal.
No.
Like, is that what it was?
They're doing
Murder, basically, just
Am
killing.
I talking to my
abortion
ass again?
up to the point where the baby comes out.
Well, that was what they did in New York, right?
And Virginia's doing the same thing. And then this guy starts talking about, well, maybe we could.
Yeah, maybe we could. He starts snowballing afterwards.
Say
That's
what you
it
want to
was.
say about it,
Oh,
but like
that's weird.
I've seen like there's like very acclaimed like abortion doctors out there that will say like there was no reason
No.
to ever medically abort
No.
a fetus like past like X.
Dude, I'm
like,
someone
and
who
it's, like,
considers
uh,
himself pro-choice in the first trimester. Anything after that, it's like, you're gonna have to birth the child anyway. You might as well
just
give it
give
up
the
for
child up
adoption.
to adoption. There's so
I'm-
many
I'm
infertile families
A-okay
out
with
there.
it though. Like if it's like the New York bill, from what I've read, maybe I didn't read it in its entirety.
Yeah.
I was in a porta john on a job site going through it. So, you know,
Well, I mean,
it's fucking cold out there. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like intake in this information. But from what I gathered, I thought it just was for like still like babies that were going to be stillborn.
was it?
That's what I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's stillborn babies only that
That's
you can.
the intention.
But is
Right.
it paper?
But does it leave
Is
the
that in
language? The
law?
language
I think so,
is.
yes.
The way the language is written is it gives doctors a lot of leeway, and you're going like
Yeah, because
If they're-
all the
all it
pro-choice
takes
doctor
is a
has
doctor who's willing to just
right
sign
that
off
he
on
thought it was
everything,
pro-choice.
and
or
there's going
it-
to be a bunch
yeah.
of
Thought it was
doctors 'cause they
stillborn,
want to make
yeah.
money.
See, like it's like really easy to confirm if it's stillborn. Like you know what I mean. You can-
But okay, so a doctor,
It's not
all they
just
have to do is
stillborn,
say,
there's a
according
plan.
to my professional medical opinion,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought this child was still. Oh
Yeah.
shit! It came out. It wasn't. Oh well, it's a boy
Right.
now.
Funny.
And
crazy
it's not just
doctor.
stillborn. They have said if there's like a potential harm to the mother, any of that kind of
Right.
But the problem
My
with
thing-
that
my-
is they include mental health, not just physical
My
health.
thing is too is like
I mean, technically, the New York Giants should be illegal because of what they did to my mental health. Not once, but twice. I mean,
my thing about
I
that.
wish. Eli Manning already kind of looks like he was an attempted abortion, but
God, dude.
I mean,
So there's a really big
The one that
argument
got
for
away.
this. A really big argument for this is that like you don't want a child to be born into like a poor family where like the people are struggling to take care of it. It's like
I hate that.
well, like it's really expensive to adopt a baby because there's really, really, really high demand for them,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
Well, I hate the
And there's
argument.
ass load of red tape.
So
there's a shit ton of babies
Again.
out there, though.
Again, this is from someone who considers himself pro-choice, right? I hate that argument that, oh, well, the kid's going to be, would you rather the kid born to a fucking poor family or a single mom? It's like, I don't know. Let's ask the people that were born to poor families and single moms that are here. It's like, so would you rather be dead? I mean,
like, how's your life now? Is it shit or
so it's
is it shittier?
I know people very close to me that were adopted out of those situations, different points in life. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, you're telling me, right? You're telling me that person's better off dead. That pisses me off. I mean, these are my friends, my family. You're saying they're better off dead, and that's bullshit. That's a horrible argument. You know, it's like,
dude, this is I'm fairly libertarian, but one of my left-leaning libertarian fucking things is like, if you gotta fucking tax me, I have no issue like of some of my tax money, mine personally,
right,
giving somebody some fucking birth control because Jesus fucking Christ.
I would rather be taxed for birth control than abortion.
Absolutely.
I would be too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I
because
totally
clearly,
hate the
because fucking
God,
clearly,
no.
like parents are not teaching responsibility to their kids. You know, they're like the topic of sex is like so fucking taboo in most homes.
That's the school.
So I know a little bit about this subject statistic wise because I had to write a paper about it in college. So you look at like teen pregnancy rates, say since like the
way
80s.
down.
The 80s, it was super high. It was like I think it was like 12% or something. Like something.
My mom was 15.
Yeah. Teen pregnancies
exactly.
in the 80s were super high because like federal government standards back then were to have it be like
Abstinence
only. Like
They've
that's what they were
drifted
teaching
away
in
from
schools.
that, yeah.
So
Which they still do in some schools though.
But they found
They have higher
now
birth rates.
they found now
exactly.
that treating it as like just like sex education, teaching to use
You can still say abstinence is better. But you need to tell these kids, you need to be realistic. These kids live in a hookup culture. They're going to go out and they're going to fuck each other's brains out.
And like, I mean, do you really need to have fucking tax money to go to condoms? It's motherfucking $4.
I know several bars in Omaha. You can walk in and take a handful for free.
Yeah.
So
go to a hospital. A lot of them hand out lifestyles. I mean,
well, okay.
Let's be honest, young men, boys are not responsible.
What's a cheaper, more effective way? A woman can make a guy wear a fucking condom.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Responsibility goes both ways.
Exactly.
That's definitely true.
What's cheaper though? The pills or
so here's my thing.
Clearly,
about
he thinks herpes medication is less expensive than a condom.
Yeah.
Well, so like, and there's a bit in my stand-up about this. I'm sorry, but
The plug.
yeah. So no. So a lot of the women you see on these college campuses that protest for free birth control are kind of already born with it. Like, you know, it's
That's
like
some spice,
bro.
That's some spice.
I got into an argument with a woman that said birth control should be free and like when they buy it, it shouldn't be taxed. I'm like, there's no fucking tax on medication in Nebraska. Your argument, well, I mean, Rogaine, you can buy Rogaine over the counter and it's not taxed. I'm like, no.
They will say they'll try and argue that like razors aren't, but tampons
taxed.
are. Well, it's like razors are used by everybody,
right?
Too, so
yeah, well, like birth control, it's like, and I'm not trying to mansplain here. Women watching this, if I'm wrong, comment and tell me by all means. But isn't it like birth control? You have to sit down with your doctor and like, because if you don't get it right, it can fuck you up.
Yeah, well,
like,
even if you get it
to
right,
be prescribed.
even if you get it right, a lot of times like
my wife is in the middle of a 3-month period because of her birth.
Yeah, it'll mess you up. It'll make them like extra
because
long.
you know, like a pill is really just hormones.
Yeah,
Like
all
it's
it is.
injected into you. So like even if you get it right, like it will fuck you up. Like it'll make women sick all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to say that, like, okay, so I know some women use birth controls to treat like hormonal imbalances, and they just but like they get sick all the time, and like it really fucks with you. And like when you do get your period, like it'll be like the period from hell all the time.
Yeah.
So
and it's like.
It's if like you want to just say it's specifically for use of birth control. I mean, condoms are way cheaper than that.
But they break.
I mean,
Morning
I
after
mean, sometimes
Plan fucking B.
Plan B, but it's so expensive.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But it's cheaper than a kid.
And I
It's
mean,
true,
even
it's
the
like-
pill isn't 100% effective either.
It's
so-
more effective than
I
condoms.
mean, there's like a half
if
of
a
a
baby can get through a condom and Plan B and the pill. Then
Yeah, that
That's
child.
a fucking
That's
super baby.
That's a
chosen one.
that's a child that's gonna go places because they got
Yeah,
some
that's
fucking
exactly
willpower,
it. That
dude.
kid was meant to
Yeah.
fucking be.
That's
And I mean, even if like, so my thing too is like, even if you do have the kid, you don't want to like, if like you like physically, like, I cannot take care of this kid, too expensive, whatever life situation. There are so many families out there that are trying to adopt a child. Like, they're like
Definitely.
these like places are like
My-
monetized
My
this.
grandparents adopted me. So when I say mom and dad, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Okay.
There were 3 families that were also trying to adopt me.
Mhm.
You
And
were in
were
high
ready
demand.
to do so if my grandparents hadn't have decided on the spot that they wanted to.
I
You
know-
were in high demand.
And I know
And
families.
look at me, I'm a piece of shit.
Ow.
I know a family. So I know this family that was trying to adopt, like, so it is like almost impossible to adopt a kid out of Mexico, actually, like to bring
Really?
them to America
Mhm.
and adopt a Mexican child. Yes, it is
But
like
fuck,
damn
dude.
near impossible.
You can get an Asian with $10 off
No,
and free
even now-
shipping if you enter the
No,
code
no,
word Brangelina.
Even now, no, you can't. It is so fucking hard to
I,
adopt a kid. It's so expensive to go through
I have
this
a
process.
friend. He's adopted. He has an adopted sister. They went through this adoption agency, right?
Yeah.
And this is a fucked up story.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Oh, dude, no. So they adopt a
I got seen a video about
a
this.
Chinese girl,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
this
jeez.
adoption, like, it's almost like a fucking baby broker, like an adoption agency baby broker.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Are you guys planning to adopt any more kids?" Yada yada yada. Because they already had their own kids, and like, I mean, at some point, it's like, well, for right now, we have this half-price Guatemalan kid.
Oh shit! Are you serious? Are you serious?
Half-price?
Half-price, they call him a halfprice Guatemalan
God
child.
damn.
Legitimately,
Oh my God.
the adoption fees
It's like the
were,
fucking puppy kennels.
lower and shit.
Yeah, that's like that is. Oh
It's like, oh, it's our dog of the week. Is the Schnauzer?
our kid of the
$400
week.
off.
Our kid of the week. We have this Colombian
We have
child.
this. They got him on the fucking infomercial.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Mays here.
With your half-price Guatemalan, but wait, there's more.
Buy one Vietnamese kid, get one half off.
Yep. And there, but wait, there's more. Enter the code word Brangelina. $10 off plus free shipping on any Asian child.
We'll throw
Hold
in.
on, folks. I'm getting this in. The first 10 callers get a free sewing machine for their little
Oh,
Vietnamese
my
child.
God. Jesus Christ,
Oh,
dude.
shit. There go our sponsors.
Bye, sponsors. Bye,
Fuck,
sponsors.
I'm sorry,
No,
guys.
yes,
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ. Thank you.
Oh my god.
But yeah, dude, like how the government lets that shit fucking go, like unmonitored like that.
Yeah.
Like how are you able to like sell a kid
I
like
don't-
half
so-
price? Like you're
Oh
supposed
my
to be
God.
fucking doing good.
I've only given it like the skim through, look through. Zach, you've said you've like looked at it really in depth. Who is there government regulation in adoption ages? Or like how is this regulated? Like, or is it even regulated at all? Like,
Tons of background checks.
yeah, but
Oh,
who does
God,
that?
hopefully.
Though? Who is the one
Catholic
that sets
priests
that? Is
not
it
allowed.
the government or is it these adoption agencies? Because they're not government adoption agencies.
I'd have to ask.
They're
I'd have to
private.
ask my wife, 'cause
I
she's,
think
like,
they're private. Yeah,
We all are.
So
they're,
these
they're
private.
but there's regulations that they have.
It's
to
Health and
follow.
Human Services
yeah.
that
Is it,
oversees
though?
Yeah.
I think
Like they're gonna have their own rules, yes.
Yeah.
And then they
But
have
how
to
strict
follow
is
the
it because
rules
of
of the
them?
country that the child is coming from,
Yes.
and the country they're going to.
That's
So
how it is with
So-
the Mexican ones. Is like the Mexican. It's just super
If-
strict for Mexico adoption.
if-
Yeah, because they don't. As much as we hear in the media about all the Mexicans that are trying to get to America, Mexico doesn't actually want all of their population coming
Yeah,
to America.
exactly.
no, they don't. They gotta have somebody. Well, my whole thing is like, so if Trump wants to fund the border wall, why doesn't he just nationalize the adoption services and like hold auctions?
Oh my god, dude!
I don't know,
Wow.
man.
Buy sponsors.
Fuck, bro. Oh.
No, you know, like
but
the thing-
it's like I'm just gonna say
You would
this.
have
It's the
kids in coal
government.
mines.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
the-
libertarian heaven right there.
No,
That's
we
a
don't.
libertarian
Libertarians don't believe in
paradise.
nationalizing things. We
Yeah,
would just
dude.
want them to like for private causes, like corporations.
Yeah, private coal mines.
Well,
you know.
libertarians, we don't believe in the wall. I don't believe in the wall. I'm
No,
just
no.
saying, if he wants to fund it, well, I mean, you might as well. Yeah.
But the libertarian paradise, they can come over so they can work in the privatized coal mines.
Hey,
you know?
to quote Ron Swanson, child labor laws are ruining this country. So
oh my god.
I mean, like, I make my kid do menial tasks around the house for like
Oh,
nickels
he's not
and
working in a
dimes.
meat packing plant again. His
You're
fingers
saying this
cut
right
off.
now?
Think of all
CPS is
that
on
labor
their way.
he's missing out on.
Yeah, he's missing on all this work experience, working in a sweatshop,
Sweatshop.
getting paid.
I always
Oh
said,
my
like,
God.
as a teenager, when I have kids, they're gonna work my fucking fields. Now this little fucker, my son, he wants to be a farmer. I'm like, well, kid, you're gonna get what you asked for this summer. We're tilling the fucking backyard.
The sweatshops. I love how everyone was so pissed off at Nike for the Kaepernick thing. It's like, you understand they've been exploiting children for like
But
pennies
now
an
you
hour.
Violating like no labor laws.
They
in
put a
China
fucking football
forever.
player who hurts your
Right,
feelings and you're
yeah.
up in arms.
That really helped the Chinese people.
It did though. It did.
Like you had sweatshops are bad, but they're less bad than not having work.
That's
Are
true.
they those? Because some of them are almost slave labor.
Oh, dude, no, the ones that we
But
should be
it's a
concerned
step
about are in
from
American Samoa.
Dirt poor serfs
They just make great football
into
players.
factory
They
workers.
make great
and
football
then
players,
that's how
but their
you climb
parents
up
make
as
great
a
factory
economy.
workers.
Oh.
Like America did it too.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And
is
I,
that they're
I don't like that kind of work, but it is a step in the right
It
direction.
has to be.
I get what
see
you're
what you're
saying.
saying. Yeah. Well, like, okay. So we brought you here to talk about this Iowa.
Oh shit,
I know,
dude!
right?
Oh
I
my god!
I even
Yeah,
posted
talking
on our
about more than-
Instagram that that's what you were here to talk about, plus everything else. So we've done the everything else. So what's
Dude.
going on? And I didn't even ask him, so I have no idea. So this could be some crazy shit.
Oh my
that's gonna
God,
like
it's-
get me sent to jail for even talking about it. I don't know. So we're gonna find out.
Oh, dude. So I am going to work one morning, and I think where was I? I was on 29. I was heading southbound 29, which is like legitimately like the shittiest stretch of interstate I've ever been on.
Mm.
It's like potholes, really bad construction work, whatever, and it's like, dude, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm hating life. I'm just like miserable.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's torture.
Right.
Nobody should be up that early.
Right.
So I'm in a 55, and I got some dickbag in front of me going like 50 or 45, because for some odd reason their interstate doesn't go 65 like a civilized society's.
No, it's Iowa.
Yeah, I know. So I go around this guy, and I really should have paid attention to why he was going so slow. There was a vehicle. I accelerate, and I'm probably doing like 65, 70 at this point, which I'm getting ready to enter a fucking 65 zone. No biggie, right? You think like, okay, I'm going to speed up. Next thing I know, I'm getting fucking pulled over, and it's by the Iowa Department of Transportation Motor Vehicle Enforcement. Now, mind you, it has been over 15 years since I have had a ticket.
Yeah.
I think I was like 16 when I had my last ticket.
Well, your underwriter turned you in.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Karen strikes again.
is
Karen,
the cop,
dude.
too.
Karen.
Fuck,
Hey
man.
there.
She gets out. She
Hey there, buddy.
moonlights as a cop.
Hey there, buddy. You want to
She's
show
the
me?
badge. Karen.
So I
Hey,
like
let me see your driver's license and proof that you work at the company you work at.
Oh yeah. So I get pulled over, and like I'm so startled because this is the first time in my
Yeah.
life, adult life, I should say, that I've been like pulled over with fucking cherries, and it's like, oh
Right.
shit. So rather than go to the right, I go to the left, and this guy's like, he's a friendly guy. He's actually really polite, which, all right, cool. Like it's 5 a.m. and you're not a dick. All right.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy about
Yeah. Oh,
it.
absolutely
No,
not.
God,
So I'm like, he's like, let's go to the other side, bro. Let's have a little conversation. So I mean, like, all right, like get back into traffic, get over to the right, and he's like, how fast you're going there? I'm like, dude, I got no clue what's going on here, and because I didn't, from what I remember, you can speed up to get into.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like, well, I clocked you at 80. I'm like, well, how was I clocked? He's like, well, I had to speed up to catch you.
Oh my God.
And really, okay. And mind you, dude, I have a truck. It has a governor on it. I bought this in 2006.
Yeah.
I bought my truck in 06. The governor has been on there for insurance purposes forever because I was just too lazy to fucking take it off after I became like a legal, adult, and like they were gonna rape me on insurance costs.
Right.
What is that again?
Governor,
kills
so you
you,
can't
yeah.
go too fast.
Yeah,
Oh,
it kills
okay.
your engine
Okay,
after
yeah.
certain speeds. This is like set at like 76
you're kinda like my
or
governor.
77.
Okay, so you know for a fact your fucking
Oh,
truck was not going
Absolutely,
80.
and it's a tiny ass Ford Ranger. It's like a 3-liter Ranger. Like it
Yeah.
struggles to like go on flat.
Dude, I
It'd
had
blow up.
a single cab like
Oh yeah.
F-150 back in the day. Like that was like my first truck. That thing would like struggle to go past like
Oh,
50.
dude. Yeah, they're just like those engines are not meant to go that fast.
Yeah, it's not going fucking 80.
Oh, dude, she's like,
No.
I'm going 80, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll like, and like one thing I've learned is like, I'm not gonna argue with you right there. I'll take it to court.
Right.
Like,
You
I'm
just
not
be a
gonna.
dick and get your car
Absolutely.
searched is what's gonna happen.
You know, and like the thing that like chat my ass though about it was he's like, yeah, you have the cleanest driving record I've seen all week.
Well, thanks, bud.
Thanks, dude.
Not
Here's-
anymore.
Here's your ticket.
Oh,
I'm like,
You know what? You know what's funny too about that is for like 40% of the time, I think maybe even more than that. Like the cops don't show up to the traffic
No.
court.
So like what I found out is Iowa DOT gets paid to go to court.
Oh
And
shit!
it's-
Do they now? They use extra tax money to
they
make
do,
it go
and I
to
believe
traffic
it's
court.
overtime.
wait, can you repeat that louder into the microphone so people hear that? What did you just say?
I believe the Iowa DOT gets paid to go to court.
Paid
from what
extra?
Paid extra.
Extra
Yep.
tax,
I
extra
believe
tax
it
dollars.
is overtime from what
Okay.
I've gathered.
All right, so that's on there. Okay,
I'd be sending so many people to traffic court.
I know, right?
Oh no, this is the kicker. So I'm doing my research into how to like fight this ticket. I'm trying to like pull data from my phone, you know, for for speed tracking, things like that.
Mm.
And I get into the Iowa DOT motor vehicle enforcement. So what I found out was that in 2017 early 2017 they got sued.
Mhm.
So the Supreme Court ruled that they didn't have the authority to issue citations to non-commercial vehicles
Okay.
from a 1948 statute that says
Mhm.
their only purpose is to enforce the laws of commercial
Like
vehicles,
semi-trucks.
like what your state
Yeah.
patrol would do,
Okay.
Mhm.
right? So there's now a class action lawsuit against the Iowa Department of Transportation, and it's looking like they're going to have to pay back tickets from 2014
Nice.
to 2017.
Nice.
So
Right at is it like the cutoff of yours though, or
no, this happened to me maybe a month or so ago.
Okay.
But like I'm just here to talk about the ineptitude of government and like how they're using law enforcement. These guys could be out there stopping fucking human trafficking, stopping actual fucking drugs from coming in here, like fentanyl or cocaine. You know, I mean,
accessories,
things like that, and they're out there pulling people over, and like the argument was they for why Iowa doesn't want to pay it back.
right?
Is like, well, you're going to discourage them or something along these lines to not respond as peace officers to other calls or whatever, some shit like that.
Mhm.
And like they brought up some case about out of state jurisdiction, like an officer coming from Nebraska to Iowa to arrest somebody. Like these things that are like they're complete red herrings
Right.
in the eyes of the law. You know, like it has nothing to do with the court case the DOT is losing.
Mhm.
So I find this out and like I go to court and I'm like I look at my ticket. There's nothing on there about how my speed was tracked. Last I checked,
And so they have it's like a requirement. Isn't it?
it
Yeah.
is. And I talked to the judge and I said, you know, maybe I went a little bit fast, but there is no goddamn way. And I bring a letter from my mechanics, like, you know, Mr. R here has a
Right.
governor on his vehicle. It cannot accelerate past this speed. The engine kills.
That should be mistrial right there,
Yeah.
right?
And the judge was actually really cool. He's like, well, let's talk to the prosecutor. And the prosecutor's like, okay, well, how about we drop it down to
Drop the ticket.
they drop it down. And like if I would have gone to trial, they would have had this guy come in on another date. You know, they only do their traffic court trials at 1 o'clock in Iowa in Potton County.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well, I'm already missing 10 hours of work
Right.
because I have no clue how long this is going to take. I'm supposed to get here at.
That's how they fuck you, man.
Yeah.
So it's like I
Those
can't go get a
hidden fees,
lawyer. I
man.
can't do all these things. You know, subpoena for the dash cam footage, subpoena his notes, things like that. In the amount of time that I'm going to be given, it would have been like 2 weeks from the date that.
Yeah. So they gave you like no time.
Absolutely no time.
Nothing.
And if you know anything about like legal paperwork, they will wait till the absolute last minute to get it to you. And at that
Mhm.
point, you can't even prepare a defense.
Right.
I could try to push it back.
Then you're wasting your own time.
Absolutely.
You got to go to work and you got to pay your bills.
I got a family and I got a house and all this other stuff. I have bills. I have like adult responsibilities.
Right.
And
that's what they get you.
So I'm like, all right, what do you want to give me? I talked to the prosecutor. I'm like, he's like, how about we give you 11 to 15 over? I'm like, cool, because apparently in Iowa, if you are going 20 or 25 over, which they accuse me of going, it is a automatic revocation of your license.
Oh, really?
For up to 3 months or 6 months. And I was like, well, fuck, I can't have that. And since Iowa reciprocates with Nebraska, it would have gone right to the Nebraska DMV.
Of course.
And even though what I was, if I would have been actually doing that speed, it would have been doing the speed they said I was doing on an interstate highway. It would have been like 3 points off my license or 4 points off my license. No fucking big deal. I can get 2 back by taking a class. So fast forward about a week later, I think everything's done and over. My fine was reduced. I think
you paid it, right?
I did pay it. Yeah, absolutely. Because, my first mistake was I did admit to going a little bit over, which, I'll take my medicine. I'm a fucking grown-ass man.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, your speeding is what it is, right?
Right. But what irked me was like the amount he said I was going for actually having nothing on there. He's like he said to me when he pulled me over, like, I paced you for a little bit. Well, why don't you pull me over when you were pacing me?
Right. Yeah.
Because they want to pull you over going faster, man.
That's the other thing with cops, and I don't mean to cut you off there, but like,
you're good, bro.
When they tell you to get your license and registration out, all they need is your driver's license. Because I've been pulled over, and I told the cop, and he was like, "Oh, I need your registration, blah, blah, blah." I got pulled over once. I told the cop, I'm like, okay, I'll give you, here's my driver's license. There's a gun in my glove box. Here's my license for it. It's legal and stuff, right? And he's like, okay, well, don't open that. I got everything on the computer. So the reason all they need is your license plate and your driver's license. The reason they want you to open that glove box is because they want to see if, like a little dime bag of weed pops out or something that's going to incriminate you in something way worse than whatever traffic violation you're doing.
Absolutely.
Their argument is if you got nothing to hide, then who cares?
Right, yeah.
I have a right to privacy, but
that's the first one to turn them body cams off.
Oh, yeah. Shut off right before I shot him. Sorry.
So, I think everything's hunky-dory, just 2 points off. I'll go take the class at some point.
Right.
I get this letter in the mail, and it says, you were ticketed for either a third traffic offense, or you were cited for speeding 25 miles per hour or over.
Mm-hmm. So
somewhere in the line there, nobody communicated from the clerk's office to the Iowa DOT that my ticket was amended or my fine was amended.
So they just fucked up and lost.
They fucked up. So it was looking, and I still have to keep up on this because they said, okay, we'll make sure this goes through. Call back in 5 to 6 business days. So I'm probably going to have to actually take off work early to make this phone call because
more money in your pocket.
I mean, that's how they do that. Is they'll basically put so many fiery hoops to jump through to fight that.
It's crazy.
It's just like you're basically blackmailed into.
When I first called them and I was asking questions about this letter, they were like, it was a 45-minute wait, and then finally to talk to a person.
Right.
One of their tellers or their reception, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, their employees. And I'm sitting there and I'm just so she's like, well, I can see that this lady is just fucking scolding me like I'm a child. And I'm asking these questions. I'm like, so is there a tort claim I can file? Something like that for losses because I'm losing money here for having to deal with this ineptitude, this bureaucracy that you're putting me through.
Right.
And she's like, I don't know if there is. I was like, I'm probably going to have to seek legal counsel at some point. And that's going to be more money out of my pocket because of you guys fumbling the paperwork.
Right.
Saying, well, that's your right to hire an attorney, sir. If you don't stop asking me these questions, I'm going to hang up on you.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, dead serious. And I'm like, I know if I ask for a supervisor, nothing's going to happen. He's going to back the lady that he's working with. She's not going to get reprimanded. So I just eat it. And then the next day, I call my boss. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be out till noon. I will come in. They call it a Polish nooner.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to come in at noon.
Polish.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it that. But I'm going to come in at noon, and I'm talking to them, and I'm like, this 8-6 class, they want me to take this 8-6 class. I have no idea what that is.
Mhm.
It's a driving class. It's like a star and a stop class combined. And I look at the price, like, from the place. It's like 200 some odd bucks from the safety council. And I'm like, this is freaking egregious, dude. Like, not only am I paying money to the state of Iowa, I gotta shell out money to the safety council for something that's been taken care of. Finally, I get a hold of somebody.
Yeah, because you paid that ticket. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I get a hold of a lady there, and she's a nice young lady, the one that helped me out the second time. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to handle this. Calls the county, gets everything sent down, and it's handled. And it's freaking great. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, this might be, but she's like, but be sure to call back in 5 to 6 business days to make sure. So
you should do that anyway, because like you got these fucking monkeys working over in this like nice building, like paperwork, paperwork, like shitting all over the place and stuff. Like that's basically the fucking state government. Like that's basically state government workers. It's throwing shit at each other.
It's freaking crazy because like here you have these police that really aren't. Right now they're operating on a temporary permit from the legislature of Iowa.
Yeah.
To act as
now, are they actually police? Or were they state patrol?
No. They're motor vehicle enforcement police.
What? Oh, so they're not even actually police.
They're peace officers. They're certified law enforcement.
So they're almost like
they don't have they're paper police essentially.
Yeah.
They're not really.
They're rent-a-cops.
They're not rent-a-cops. They go to an academy. It's like a 14-week academy or something like that. What the kicker is their legitimate only purpose per the state law is motor vehicle enforcement. So commercial motor vehicle enforcement, semis, things like that. What the state patrol does here in Nebraska.
I didn't even know that they did that. Do they are their cars made out to look like they're actual cops?
I mean, they drive those Chevy Trailblazers. They got the lights on them. And like
does it say like police on it though?
It just says motor vehicle enforcement.
So basically, Iowa contracts out police work to these fucking asshole, like basically driver cop mercs.
They're state employees.
Walmart.
Yeah,
and like
they're basically rent-a-cops.
Legit road pirates.
They're legit like they're
That's
like no pirates. They're more
crazy.
like God. What's the other word for pirates?
Privateers.
They're basically Iowa State privateers.
They got a letter of marque from a letter of marquise or letter of marque. I don't know what it is, but it's a letter you get from the government saying you can operate within these parameters.
So they're basically private. They're basically privateers.
They have the same credentials as Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. With no Ozzy Osbourne theme song.
They're Iowa privateers on Iowa taxpayer money to go fuck people over on highways.
So rather
you can say they go to an academy.
Crisis? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, you can say they go to an academy, but I mean, like, how good is their
here.
fucking academy? Is it like Rex Kwando fucking academy?
This is the strength of a grizzly.
Yeah.
The reflexes of a puma.
You want a roundhouse kick to the face from these bad boys?
All right, we just did like 2 hours. I think we gotta
so
wrap
hey,
this shit up,
before we knock it out tomorrow, who you got?
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So we'll have to look back on
Oh man, I don't really care. I'm just gonna get hella drunk.
this. There you go.
Okay.
I'm going to the UNO basketball game.
Nice.
Over the Super Bowl?
Well, it's at noon. So.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I gotta work at 5 a.m. I'm not looking forward to this.
Yeah,
I gotta be up at 6. So, all right, guys.
It's been
fun. Real.
Nice.
This is Ricky Hernandez.
Red
It's been real.
Circuses later.